Hello friends, this is Dave from Dave's Raised Bed Garden. I'm actually out here at the garden. Came down here today. I've been kind of doing some therapy here at home, trying to work with my knee. As you know, that I had knee surgery just a little over 2 weeks ago. And so part of my therapy is being able to get out and to walk and try to get back to some mobility and normalcy and everything. And so allowing myself to walk on different types of terrain and everything, and that's part of the therapy. But at the same time, having to use what they've given me as a walker to be able to until I get full mobility back. And being able to come down here and to be able to actually sit, I'm actually sitting on a nice stool that I actually have, and it works very well. It puts me at the right height that I need and everything, but it allows me to get two types of therapy. Number one is the mobility, being able to get my my degree and my range of motion as far as my leg, and allowing me to sit and to try to get it as normal as I can to a 90 degree and above and everything. And then second of all is that it gives me the other therapy of just actually being able to relax my mind and be able to be out here at the garden a little bit, and actually to be able to do a couple little things. And I put a video out yesterday. I came down here and walked to the garden yesterday, and actually I showed a little bit of video. Sorry, my tongue's getting tied, I guess. But I showed a little video yesterday based on what I was allowing the pollinators to work, and also about pruning, and that has both two aspects of it go hand in hand. Number one is a lot of the vegetable that you have, and then this is like the ones I'm talking about, is the cucumber and the squash and the tomatoes and different things that they have flowers. And the thing of it is allowing the pollinators to be able to come in here and actually work with, they help me work with my plants. So as you can tell, I've actually worked on these up here, and if you'll look at these, let me move my little walker out of the way. But I've actually worked on these already, and you can see the main stem of the actual plant, and I've come through here. What I've done is I cleared these leaves out, and because what I want to do is I want to allow the airflow to get down here to the base of the plant. And then also what I've come through is actually coming through and then actually eliminating some of the leaves, and then also eliminating some of the suckers that are in here. So I'm actually down here, and this is a main stem. Now you see this main stem, actually I have two plants, because actually when I planted these plants, what they do is a lot of times they'll put two seeds in each plant for two reasons. Because just in case one of the seeds does not germinate. And so, but what you can do is a lot of gardeners will take is that they'll see, especially on like squash and other types of plants, and that what they'll do is they'll eliminate one of them after they plant it, because then the growth doesn't split between both of the root bases. But what it does is that it'll actually, you can decide which one you want, and then you can continue growing. The thing about cucumbers is that cucumbers are one of the easiest plants to grow. And so with that, when the root base and everything on these, as you can tell, I have two leaders, okay? So I have two stems, and these vines, I'm allowing them to grow. So when I followed this one over here to the right, I'm actually looking at this. Now here is what we call a sucker. Now you see the main stem comes up here, then I have a leaf. This continues going up, and it goes all the way up here. This little flower here that I have on here, this is actually, and you can tell I've got a little bit of fruit coming up here, but it's small, but this is actually a sucker. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to eliminate that, even with that flower, because as the vine keeps growing with here, it allows it, and it's going to keep growing up and everything. Now, if that vine was more established, I may have one over here. I think I do. This one right here. If you can see this root, this is the main stem as it's coming up. Okay, you see that? What I've done is that this is actually a sucker that I'm touching, and see the flowers as it's going? Well, it's established itself and it's come up to here. So, I mean, it's eye level with me. I'm going to leave that alone, because I told you I'd like to have cucumbers. So I love them, so I'm going to let them go. Now, if it gets to the place that I grow another sucker off of this vine, then I'll go ahead and eliminate it. I'll go ahead and take it off, and these little tentacles are going to grab and it's going to allow it to grow. So I'm actually looking on this one here to see if I have another vine coming off, which I will up here. So what I'll do is I will actually eliminate that to allow the airflow. Now what I was talking about down here, you can see here I have some new growth, and then also I have a bigger leaf down here. What I want to do down here on the root base is I want to clear some of this out. Here's a good thought to show you, or a good thing to show you. I've taken a leaf. This is actually a lead off of this, okay? This is another vine that's actually growing over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate that. I'm actually going to take my scissors. I'm sorry, my fingers are getting in front of my phone. But actually what I'm going to do is, I want to make sure I have the right one. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate this right here. So when I eliminate it, I'm getting rid of this one point, this vine. I'm getting rid of it. But what I've done is I freed this up. So as this one, here's another sucker, as we call it. It's another one that's growing off of it. So I'm going to go ahead and, yes, I'm going to go ahead and eliminate that, because this is the base of the plant. I'm going to continue growing, and as that lead continues growing up, what I can do is then I can actually thin it out. But I want to be able to allow the airflow to get to this down here. So not only am I weeding a little bit, and then I'm coming through here to do that, but also what I'm doing is that I'm freeing up some of this space that I have. Here's that lead that I was talking about. There's another one right here. As you can tell, here's another one that's not way up, okay? So I too, because I have two vines there, I am going to go ahead and eliminate. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate and cut this. I got to do this left-handed because my camera is that I'm holding it as it gets in there. So I'm going to go ahead and eliminate that. So what I've done is I've eliminated this. I can totally eliminate this whole thing here, so it's not going to hurt it. So let's go ahead and do that. So I've eliminated this whole part right here, and I've got the main stem coming up, and that one lead that I have, I'm going to leave that alone and allow it to grow because I have several flowers on it. So as I'm doing it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it up. Now these are tentacles that we have on the tops of here, and these tentacles will grab. But what I want to do is I want to allow the airflow to come down on the bottom, and then I'll keep coming through, and as I go through and then I allow it, then I'll be able to work with this plant and then make it so that it'll grow up, and I can keep it more space open. So essentially what I'm doing is where this is all cluttered up. Now these are different types of cucumbers. Let me tell you this, I have the straight 8 and then the pickling kind. This bunch is not growing as much, and I have to look more in detail. I think this is more of a bush type. So, but even at that, I've already picked several cucumbers off of here. See these little cucumbers down there? I have cucumbers on that. I'm still gonna do the same thing with this. I'm gonna try to free up to allow the airflow, because I've got a lot of flowers in there. So I'll do the same thing. So in turn, what will happen is I'll be able to open this up, and I'll allow more airflow to allow it to get to the plant. And then also, as you can tell, let me move this leaf out of the way because he just came in. I might scare him off, but there's a pollinator. See, by me freeing it up, that pollinator is allowed to come in here, and then he can actually do the work that he's supposed to do and then help me with my garden. So that kind of gives you an idea based on why do you prune and everything and allow, because your main thing is you want to be able to allow the airflow, because the plants have to have that airflow. And then the second thing is that to allow the pollinators. So I hope this video has made sense to you, exactly what I'm trying to do, understanding what the pruning process is and what, being out there and being able to prune and everything. And just realize that if you just by removing, you don't have to necessarily move those suckers. If just like for me, I want more cucumbers, but by removing some of the foliage, some of the greenery, the leaves and everything, and allow it for the air, the oxygen to get through there, and then also allowing the pollinators, that's the key to it and everything when you are actually pruning your vegetables. But to understand, doing that process, because all your vegetables need to have that access to where it's getting the oxygen and the airflow through there. It's a nice breeze blowing right now, and because I've opened that up, is that the air is actually going through there, where the plants that I showed you that are kind of jumbled up, I've got to clear that out, because this is going to help your plant in the long run. It's going to help it in the growing process. So I hope this video has helped, and something that I've been able to teach you and what I've been learning and everything. And I just thank you again for liking Dave's Raised Bed Garden and for being a part of it. And make sure you hit the like button on my YouTube page, because what it does and access is that it gives me more time with my video, and it actually goes out on the YouTube channel, and then other people will actually get on it and actually see what I'm doing too. And then also subscribe to my channel, because that's an easy way that every time that I put a video on there, or if I share another gardener's video, that you will have access to, and it'll actually notify you and everything to let you know that there is a video from Dave's Raised Bed Garden. And I thank you for spending time with me today, and until next time, take care.